Sorry. All right.
You're already too much.
I know. I'm sorry.
Welcome back to Talking Neat. I am here with the members of The Odd Advantage. How's it going, guys?
How y'all doing?
Pretty well.
Good.
So, first, introduce yourselves.
I'm Eddie. I'm a vocalist and the lead trumpet player.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jeff. I don't have a job. I'm just here.
That's Biggs.
Don't let them lie to you.
Most bassists don't have jobs anyway.
Damn.
Most bassists can't make it to their jobs on time.
Yeah, bassist.
No, that's drummers.
See, that hurts.
Ouch.
Who are you?
I'm Tony and I get drunk. Too often.
Not yet.
Steal the band's beer.
Yeah. No,
So-
I mean,
I'll steal anybody's beer that's sitting out too long.
just take it.
So, how do you play trumpet and sing at the same time?
So like originally when we started, I would just play trumpet. You know, I didn't really write music. I really didn't do anything. But over time, we added more members.
Best time to start a band. You don't do anything.
Right? But now we have multiple horn players, and I could work out parts where I don't need to play trumpet, and at the same time I could write and sing. You know, things work out. And
Yeah, he's the brains of the horn operation. He writes most of the ditties that the brass does.
I try, you know. But most of the songs are sung by my boy right here. You know, like all the original songs that we have were written between our two masterminds right here, Tony and Nick. You know, it's hard to top these guys sometimes. Like,
So, Tony does do something besides drink.
Sometimes.
Doesn't seem that way
drinking
very
inspires beauty.
We have what's really unique about us that I like is that we have 3 singer-songwriters, which is me, Tony, and Eddie. We all write. Sometimes we write like our own songs. Sometimes we write songs where we're like, hey, you want to come and do your thing on this
Let's all get together.
little ditty kind of thing, and you know.
Now, is this the reason why you don't have that much material out there right now? Because you leave the songwriting up to Tony?
No, that is one. Shots fired. Oh no!
I feel assaulted.
No, it's just money. It's money. We're poor and we also make very bad decisions. And if we took the time to stop and actually like work to save up the money and stuff like that, but we have too much fun playing shows. We have too much fun like going out there getting fast food and fucking playing a show at 12 o'clock at night just to watch like fucking 30 people dance in a circle and then come home drunk off our ass and go to bed and wake up to work really early the next morning. That's like it's addicting. And if we stop doing that, then we could probably pay for stuff. But you know, it's too fun.
We're the small end of a 9-piece, like, you know, on a good day, 9-piece band. You know, and it's almost impossible to get all of these fuckboys in one spot for like a minimum of like 30 minutes. Like I'm amazed that I got 4 of us here right now. You know, to let alone take a whole day. You know, it's just a lot of work. You know, for a big band like us. You know, and we do try our best. we do try our best. You know, and we are working on it. You know,
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
We do our best to try our best.
Yeah, that's right.
there we go.
That's a good.
There we go. That's a good way of putting it.
High fives, guys.
I'm not high-fiving.
Makes us like I'm just
Typical bassist.
here in spirit.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm
Makes us
crying
like-
by the end of this.
He's like,
Oh, what's
So
this?
I keep seeing Tony just eyeing.
I reached for it a couple of times too.
He's just like.
So we are starting out with Rebel Yell,
Oh yeah.
bourbon, Kentucky bourbon, where bourbon should be from.
oh,
I'm from
Well, I
Kentucky.
mean, Kentucky bourbon, it was started in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
that's
And
right.
No, that makes sense.
There's a county called Bourbon, so
If anything's made sense. I like it though. That was nice.
Yeah, it tastes like splendid.
The aftertaste though was just like that was. It was just.
I was-
I did not like the aftertaste. I gotta say, but that's okay. I dig.
I was dreading
I
that
think
first
it's
shot,
real
man. I thought I was gonna like gag on camera or something. You know.
there's a couple. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this one,
Yeah.
but I mean it's
No, it's good.
decent.
It was just like a little.
It's
harsh.
actually really good.
Yeah,
I
it's really
really like
good.
the flavor.
I'm excited for the Centauri because I've tried that before.
I can't
Yeah, I
wait.
know that's
So he's not
Yeah,
getting.
you're
he's
not getting
it.
it.
Damn it!
We're gonna bring out Jim Beam for you.
This makes the best whiskey
Let's move
sours.
it to the end. Now you guys are basically like classified like a ska band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ska punk, I would feel more.
Okay.
I say
Yeah.
polka.
Polka.
Yeah.
A lot of people give us different genres. Like Tony has his that he has a name for, and I like him. Like what you call us? Like,
Say it, Tony.
Come on.
Oh, so now you guys want to hit?
Yeah. Say it.
I think we play. Is that kinky reggae one you were talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good way to put this.
It's like,
It's good.
You know,
It's
a lot
good.
of our songs, there's always some kind of influence of that reggae back there. You know, just and so and it's not like what do you call ska by the books, and it's not reggae by the books. So that's kinky reggae.
Yeah, and we got like a lot of soul in our stuff. That's why I like to
Soul and
we got like a lot of like in our lyrics. We got that I don't know, like that heavy like passionate reggae vibe, but we carry it out like through faster music kind of stuff. So that's what we write things like kind of slower, and then we progressively kind of make them faster. What seems to happen sometimes.
Yeah, especially with a lot of our older stuff. Like like all of our original songs, like most of them were dubbed out 6-minute reggae songs,
In the beginning.
And honestly, like they weren't half bad, but the minute that we were like,
was terrible.
There's a recording actually on YouTube of one girl when we would play it reggae and everything like that
gosh.
at our first show ever.
Yeah,
And
it
it was
terrible.
what was I forget that place, the name of it or whatever. But man, yeah, it was just not good. That's when I was on bass and stuff like that. I didn't know what to do, so I would like swing it like a pendulum and stuff like that. I'm glad I don't have to do bass anymore.
over time though, we through I'd like to say age, like we eventually just kind of were like, well, we're kind of done with playing like the slow, like, dumb reggae stuff. Like we eventually just made our music faster.
We figured out what people dance to, I guess.
And
Because,
like we're a ska band and more of a punk scene, and like what we don't play for what people want us to play, but we play for what we think people will dance to. We play stuff that we know people will vibe to and actually be able to not only dance but even mosh. Like we have a lot of variety.
Oh, that's where I come in.
Like.
Huh?
I made the mosh.
Yeah, he
And
does
like, it's definitely the influence of us three. We definitely all brought our like aspects. Like Tony was the first person to introduce me to ska and to reggae and stuff like that. And the only influence that I have myself prior to that was really jazz music, because that's all I really did on trumpet or trombone was play jazz.
Yeah.
That's like most of us actually met each other way back. Like I'd say about elementary school, right?
Years.
I was like.
Well, him for
Yeah,
elementary
middle
school.
school.
Yeah, you guys were. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
young. I'm the young one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to
But,
middle school and still make scroll real quick.
See, I always thought that like a ska band was, I could be wrong. It's just a bunch of high school band rejects who are into punk.
Wow.
You are correct. You are correct.
Now
Ouch.
I know, right?
Can we really be described
Right
that
now-
easy? Like,
Yes.
we're over here thinking like, no, I'm kidding. But no, seriously though, like that's kind of how it is. That's kind of how it is. I mean, most of us, like even some of our new members, one of them, for some reason, years later, Tony pulled somebody from band that we knew back in high school from like forever ago, Joey, and just brought him. He was like, "Oh, this guy should play trombone for us," and we're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we've seen you before." And it was crazy because like we've all went under the same music teacher. They were I wasn't under.
You still count.
I wasn't in the
Still
band.
count.
I was in color guard and fucking theater, but it was the same teacher as the band teacher. So we all went under the same Hepburn, Thomas
With
Hepburn.
that
shout
hair,
out.
you were in color
You
guard?
did?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Could you imagine this thing whipping with the?
I know, that's what I'm trying
it's
to-
Majestic, man. Majestic. We were 7th place.
All of us had.
What kind of ribbon is that? Like fuchsia?
Ouch! The burns. They keep coming here.
We
Not
got
having
teak.
burns. Shit, man.
I think that makes you the
But,
only person
yeah,
in the
like,
entire
oh,
band was in band.
We
Yeah,
all
I think
spent
so.
a lot of
No,
time
but
with
I
each
told
other,
you you
you know.
can't count.
Even
Oh no,
before
really? You're
being
right
in a
though. I'm
band
the
and
only
stuff.
person. Yeah.
No.
Kick me out.
And like you can call it fate, you can call it bad luck, but eventually, when we all just grew up a little bit, at least for me and Tony and our drummer Juan, throughout middle school, is when we started, hanging out and talking and stuff like that. And I always give Tony the fact that he started this band. This whole band was his idea from the jump, And like he's the one who, was like, hey, you're good. Like you should play trumpet. And like he was like, he looked at Juan. He was like, "Hey, you're a good drummer. You should, come over here and
Well,
play
to
with
be
me."
fair, Eddie didn't come in until a little bit after. He was.
Yeah, I was there,
He was
but I
very.
didn't quit.
he
Yeah,
was
I quit.
very.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
He was
well,
there
because
before.
at first
Hold on.
it was me and Tony writing songs with Wani on drums.
Yeah.
And then Tony was always like, I have this trumpet player. He never fucking comes around. And then he brings him a couple times, and we're like, dude, you're amazing. Stick around. And then like a couple weeks pass by, and then he finally comes back again. And then we finally, every time though he would come back by, I feel like our songs, everything would get just a little bit better.
But
And
it
then,
sounds like your whole band.
yeah. But this motherfucker, he needed convincing. Like we
Yeah,
had to
like,
show
you know,
him that we
like-
were good, and that's where a lot of our growth came from too. Is like
the truth is that, you know, like when this whole band started, it was purely for the fact that Tony just wanted to play music. Like it starts with one man and one love, you know, and that's Tony and his music. You know, that's what started this whole thing. I wouldn't be here to this day if it wasn't for Tony literally coming to my house and literally like begging me, not begging, but like I would say
Pretty
more
much
so
begging,
forcing.
bro. Me
It was
and Juan
forced.
walked
It was
over
more
there
forced.
from my
Like
house
he was
with
always
he would
his
pick me
guitar.
up. He would pick me up, yo. Like he would like literally physically pick me up and make me go places with him, just so he could have a trumpet player and be like, yo,
the
this
places,
guy,
okay.
me and this guy.
When he says pick me up, I had to get
Yes.
in his house one day and wake him
Literally,
up and pick
yeah,
him up
pick
in
me
my
up out of my
arms
fucking bed
and throw him in the
Yo.
car.
Like I was so tired, yo. Like, but like, I'm very thankful that he did because like, you know, eventually, you know, through what I see in these two, I see the potential that this band has. Even back then, you know, and now more so than ever because of the things that we're accomplishing is kind of almost unheard of, at least from where we come from. Because we're in the culture of people just playing music to get fucked up and, you know, just crazy things. You
Well,
know?
Fun.
that's pretty much what Tony said.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
do
you
it?
know.
a big part of us.
There's
is
always
that.
that.
It'll always be that, you know, and that's what kind of the music scene is, you know, is having fun.
That's not good night.
Eventually, you know, we just decided that this was gonna be our lives. All of us. This is our lives, you know.
This is our life.
He just, can I tell you about the whiskey?
Have you heard about good Lord and Savior whiskey?
So we're moving on to Monkey Shoulder.
Okay.
Can I move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, please. I'm sorry. We're the ones. Yeah.
So this is Monkey Shoulder. It was Monkey Shoulder. It's pretty much a blended malted Scotch. Their distiller, their like brew master, whatever guy, he wanted to create a whiskey not for drinking straight. So we're breaking every rule. We're like the bad boys, man.
Blasphemy.
This is perfect for the interview.
It was actually made for mixing, for cocktails. But a lot of whiskey drinkers love it because it tastes so damn good.
Man, I
You get like kind of hints of vanilla and
I definitely
like
smell the vanilla.
spices.
spices and vanilla.
Yeah, so it mixes really well with a lot of cocktails,
Smells
but
spicy.
Mm-hmm.
it's really good.
Here we go.
I think it is.
Oh, that is good.
Swig it back.
That is actually really good.
Salud, my friend.
Salud.
You Italian?
No, I'm not.
You gangster now?
Nostrovia. It's supposed to say Bistrovia.
Bistrovi.
It's Russian.
Are you Russian?
I am Russian.
Oh,
He is,
damn.
yeah, you-
I'm Russian
You don't
and
need to be
Mexican.
Russian me, bro. Like,
So that's why your
seriously.
chest is always out.
Yes. It's
Where's the
hairy,
tracksuit?
Huh? If you guys want to buy me a tracksuit, I'll wear that shit all
He's
the
not
time.
gangster enough.
Yo, if you're gonna tell me to buy you a tracksuit, you'll wear it all the time?
Yeah, yeah.
Because why?
Motherfucker.
That's me,
Yeah.
Next
I'll go to
I'm
shows
gonna
wearing
get a
it all the
nasty brown
time.
one.
I'll do like the suka black.
You're gonna get a nice pink jumpsuit next week.
But that was good. I like that. That was nice.
Yeah, that one was pretty delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh,
What?
for that goddamn
Calm
sound.
down.
Well, now we're moving Suntory down.
Oh, God damn it. Tony, why?
Stop it. Stop it now.
Talk about Centauri one more time, it's off the table.
Why do you
Damn
get
it.
to talk about
But there's another slot. We can
There's
just
one more spot back. I get one more
This is not how this game
Yes.
works.
mistake.
Okay, that's mean.
just cruel. I thought these were chicken wings when I first looked at this.
Chicken wings.
It looks like 3 chicken wings just lined up.
Moving on to Collinwood.
Collinwood.
I'm not a fan of Canadian whiskey. I got this in one of those white elephant Christmas things where people keep passing a gift around.
Okay.
And I did not want it.
Yeah.
Because it was
I
Canadian.
like how we're getting all the whiskeys you don't like.
Because you guys are here. No, I like Monkey Shoulder. This is actually,
I
Rebel
like
Yell is
that.
a decent bourbon.
Rebel Yell's
Um,
good time.
there's so many, like this is another bourbon.
Oh.
And I mean, if you want, we can pour more of this and kind of side by side them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, damn, that smells good.
There's always one of them.
Oh, that's actually. I taste like.
See, it's something. It's going to be very smooth
There's no
because
bite.
they.
No,
yeah,
there is no bite.
There's no like.
It's like black
character
licorice.
in it.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable,
Yeah.
but it's dangerous.
Yeah, there is no bite. Like that's like chuggable. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That scares me.
definitely.
Chuggable whiskey.
Yeah.
There's a first for
It's kind of got a
Yo,
medicinal taste to it, though.
Yeah, it does. It does
I
have
do
that.
actually like it.
Well,
So-
after we're done with this interview, we'll know so much about whiskey that we can just make our own chuggable whiskey.
Have you ever fallen off the stage?
No, but now that you remind me. Okay, so this. Fuck. Okay, so Vegas. I believe the first or second time we played Vegas.
Hold on, before you get any further, I'm also hearing this story for the first time.
No, he's not.
No, he's
I've told
not.
him like 15 times
But he
because
doesn't
I.
remember.
He must have been
I
drunk
don't
when he
remember.
told
I
him.
must have been drunk when he told me.
Well, it's like we were the fourth band. He doesn't remember the second.
So
Vegas.
hold on. Like this was first.
Oh, no, this
second.
is our-
No, it's the second.
This is
Yeah.
our
I'm
first.
pretty sure
No, it's our
third.
second.
the
No, it's our
third.
second because the second we're both at the Los de Toscados
third one we
house.
went there for.
Shout out for Los de Toscados for letting
Oh,
us play
right,
and
okay,
spend the
so
night
it
and
was
shit
the
like that.
second.
But
But,
it was our
I
thought we
second Las
played-
Vegas show that we ever played, and
Yeah.
we were, it was at a place that we actually played at too. It was it's this really cool house.
It's a
venue.
living room.
It was a band house.
It's a
that-
living
it was
room with a
it's a
stage.
living room with a stage. Yeah, it's a living room with a stage with some really cool people. But okay, so like we're about to start playing the show, and we're trying to find everybody and get everything together. And I mean, most of the time it's a normal thing to be for us like, where the fuck is Tony?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that's a regular common thing.
You'll hear
and,
that all the time.
So I'm
When you
looking
guys
for
got here today,
I'm
that's
looking
what
for
you were
Tony. And then I come back on the stage. I'm literally standing at the front of the stage and I'm looking at the crowd and everything like that. I'm like, where's Tony and everything? I
Well,
start
no.
looking over here. I see Eddie looking down with his head shaking
Well, no, 'cause
and stuff like that.
I was on the right of Tony, and I watched him break a string on his guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to tune it, and I'm like, no, it's broken. And someone gives him a Gibson SG. And I'm like, that's a bad idea. And while trying to put on the SG, he just falls into the crowd.
So like, hold up. Let me just explain. So at that party, when I walked up, Tony walks up to me, literally with a bag of broken up edible cookies. And my dumbass, like I don't know how you party when you're in Vegas, but I had myself a whole gallon of Sailor Jerry. I like rum. Sorry, if people don't like that,
There's a gallon of vodka somewhere.
There was also a
That
whole
was
gallon of
Dave's and
sangria wine. Like the jugs, like the little jugs. And I literally watched this man consume just about everything and anything for the
Anything,
span
bro.
of about 20 minutes.
I get there, the
Sloshed.
minute that I got there was so many people that I just saw pretty drinks, and I went around, hey, give me some of this, give me some of this.
Sure.
And the whole 4-hour drive.
Pretty drinks.
Yeah, like.
Well, our friends Los Conejos, they were making mixed drinks. They were making mixed
That's
drinks,
right.
and they were passing them out to people and everything like that.
So if you saw like a
If
nice,
I saw
like,
anything alcoholic, I asked for some.
yeah.
you saw like a nice like glass of whiskey, and then next to it was like a sex on the beach, you go for the sex on
I
the
took
beach.
them both.
It would be bold.
Like
But
it was everything, bro.
I have to explain my situation of that. Literally, what happened was, like I said, I looked over, I saw Eddie looking down and just shaking his head, and then Biggs just walked off, and then I looked over, and Tony is literally so there's there's a stage, and then there's like this fucking like a thing like this behind us, and then Tony is literally slumped over with his amp up against the wall with his belly out, and he's fucking like he's got his guitar in his lap and his fucking fat lip out, and he's just strumming away because his guitar won't play, and he's so fucking drunk.
For 3 songs. For 3 songs.
I did not have to kick him out. I
Biggs
had to
literally
kick
had
him out of the show.
Biggs literally had to carry him out.
He pitted for the rest of that show, and then we couldn't get him out of the pit for
I think it's
2 more bands
I think-
afterwards.
I think his grandmother and his mother were waiting in a car for at least 2 bands, waiting for Tony.
Oh
No,
yeah.
because that was the time that Joey drove in.
Oh, that was the other time. There's two,
Yeah, you're right,
there was
you are
2
right.
shows at that house,
But
so I
that
think
one
we're
I did
confusing
make
it.
his
up.
way.
But regardless, Tony had a really good night.
And even the whole 4-hour drive there, the day before the show, I met some random guy on the side of Baseline and whatever other street in San
That always
Bernardino.
ends up good.
Yes.
That sounds
I was walking down smoking a blunt, and I offered something to him. I was like, hey, you want to smoke this blunt? And he was like, no, man, I don't smoke anymore. He goes, all my stuff's in this drink. And I said, what? All your stuff's in this drink? He goes, yeah, I bought it at the liquor store. And I said, what do you mean? It gets you like drunk or something? He goes, no, it's just this all 100% herbal Asian influenced drink.
Oh.
You remember that one?
I remember.
That nasty
Yeah.
one? I drank it the whole way. I just sat there the whole 4 hours taking a sip. We were all sitting in the car
This is
telling
the weirdest
stories.
tasting shit.
And I'm just taking a sip. I give Joey some, I give Nick some, we're all sip. It tastes weird, but it oddly enough, like you wanted more, you know? You just, I don't know if you did, but
No,
I
I did. It was like this dark
He
green
kept
bottle. It
asking
looked
me for
evil.
some.
You
Yeah,
probably
dude.
pissed in it or something.
And
Yeah, no.
he kept asking for more. Joey would ask for more, and I'm just hitting it, kicking it back. And then, like they said, you know, I had these edible cookies, and as soon as I got there, I took a drink of everyone's drink. Everybody had alcohol. I was there getting some. I didn't care what it was. I didn't come with my own, but I came with this drink. The drink is apparently supposed to enhance everything. Whatever it is, it's supposed to relieve your stress and enhance whatever it is that you take.
Oh.
So like if you get high, it'll enhance your high. If you drink alcohol, it'll enhance your alcohol. You know, from what this
So
guy's telling some
what was it
random guy.
enhancing when you're sitting in the back playing an air guitar for 3
Bro,
seconds?
I was wasted that night. I've never been that drunk before in my life.
You know, like,
I've never had to pull Tony out.
but like it was.
Dude, I remember being in the pit and like everybody was throwing me around because I was being that drunk
No, you
asshole.
got bloody.
He was.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I got bloody.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you got punched in the face.
You
by
got
a
somebody
few
else
That's
bloody too,
hilarious.
motherfucker. Like they were literally, there was this open circle of people who didn't want to get in the pit because Tony was just ping ponging across the fucking room.
The whole sun would just throw me, and that was the game that I was playing.
And that's where I got a
the
little
last
upset. I was like,
remember.
okay,
Where
that's
did
my
you-
boy. I gotta like, move. You know,
Where
like
did
get
you
out
wake
of
up the
here.
next day?
Oh no, we got you in a car. We got him in a car
I
with
was
you.
in
There was
Joey's
a
car.
yeah. We
Joey
got
Yeah,
him
okay.
in a
I
car.
just want to make sure because I ended up going to a
I'll
hotel
tell you
after
the rest of that
like,
from
I'm
what
sorry.
I
I'm
heard. I'll
with
tell you
you,
that.
that's right.
Yeah, like that like you know like despite all that, that was still one of the greatest nights all of
Didn't we
time.
play Los Angeles Fest the next day?
No.
Yes.
One of them. I think that was the
No,
other
yeah,
one.
that was the
That
second
was the one because I
Oh.
went to that show.
Yeah.
We played that show.
Oh,
I was
that was
there.
the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did play a festival right after.
So-
Yeah. Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
played
for the
Skull
Mac
Boys
Case,
actually.
like,
Yeah.
So
Holy snap.
they the last thing I remember is being in the pit, and then I closed my eyes to blink, and I opened them, and I'm sitting, everybody in the crowd's looking at me, I got a guitar in my hands, and I look over, and Biggs is looking at me, and everybody's mad, Eddie's shaking his head still, he's like, what are you doing? And then, and I just took
That's
my
every
guitar
show.
off and handed it to Biggs, I was like, no,
It was
no!
an $800 guitar, wasn't his, using a $1,000
Yeah,
amp.
dude, yeah, I saw, and usually I use Biggs' stuff, so I saw that it wasn't his either, and I was like, if
Shout
I
out to
break
Biggs.
this,
Shout out to Big.
if I break this is
Baby
not
nigga.
mine and it's not Big's.
I will eat your ass.
What is it?
Oh wait, guys.
I'm
Hang on.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's a whiskey announcement.
Actually, I think we'll skip this one.
They got so excited. They got so
We
excited.
all got quiet for once in our entire life. We were all quiet at the same
Most
time.
silence we've had all day.
I'm sorry.
Most
I'm
silence
sorry.
we've had in the last
God.
5 years.
Actually, we haven't heard from you in quite a while.
I would
That's not
say
good.
Biggs.
Yeah.
Talk more, man.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hear from our ask him
You're
the
right.
next question.
I
Ask him the
don't
next
know
question.
why I'm here. I'm not
So we're
even
going for
Uh,
Suntory whiskey. This is the Tokai.
I'm so stoked.
Apparently, it makes what? Good
whiskey sours.
whiskey sours?
The best.
I didn't know there was whiskey in whiskey sours.
Or you make a piece of ass
You'd
with
be
it.
surprised.
You
You'd be
make a
surprised.
Di Serono sour and you just add the whiskey. It's amazing.
Di Serono on the rocks. Di Serono, the rocks. Di Serono on the rocks. You guys see those commercials? Those commercials are the worst.
Which
Di Serono
ones?
with Coke. There was commercials they used to air, and it would be like some guy who's like a bartender, and he's like, "I'm gonna teach you how to make Di Serono and Coke," and then he like it's like Di Serono, Coke, Di Serono and Coke, and like that's the end of the commercial. And I used to get so mad as a kid because I would be like, "Why is this being funded? Who told this guy to do this?"
I know, he made money on those commercials.
Yeah,
I don't even
just to show
remember
you how to
those.
put Di Serono and Coke. Look up, look.
And then it'd be like
Yeah.
Di Serono and cranberry. ice, you put Di Serono, and you put cranberry.
Di Serono and cranberry. And then he was like, that's exactly what he would say, like, Di Serono and cranberry. And then, like, that was it.
That just sounds nasty.
It's despicable.
That can't be a real drink.
I haven't made it. I'm a bartender. I don't think so.
Asians to make things flowery, that is for sure.
Oh boy.
We gotta blow on it real fast.
So, where is Suntory from?
Japan.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Suntory, Japan.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful, yo.
No, I'm just kidding.
So we're gonna do Rebel Yell again, and
Yeah.
that way you guys can taste it,
Yeah.
compare it.
Yeah, oh.
Oh man, I'm so
We're going from
not
bottom
ready
to top here. This is great.
Well, this is back to the bottom.
Yep.
I remember what that tastes like. I don't know if I'm ready just yet. And
I'm
like,
passing
like
on
they
Rebel
said
Yell.
too,
You're
is,
passing?
you know, me and
I don't
Nick,
like Rebel Yell.
Thanks, man.
we have the
whoa.
band tattooed on our.
You and Nick. You and Nick.
Yeah,
He's got to
me and
interview
Nick
us,
have the
man.
band tattooed.
He has questions for us.
I know for a fact that we can go somewhere in life.
Sean never does that.
Shut up, stop.
He's showing off his tattoo. Sorry, guys. You know, but like,
Okay, are we cheersing or?
Let's go.
All right.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Empty cup. Empty cup.
There's a lot of
cheers.
us. Like, this is how like practices go. Like all of us have inputs.
This would be a practice
You
with
guys talk?
instruments. Yeah, no, this is what happens. Like this
No,
is.
like-
I wish we took more recordings. It's my fault.
So do you guys have anything coming up?
Eddie.
Well, one,
Bro, I have
we
the
are
papers
currently
to
working on an
copy
EP from Fullerton City College. Shout out to Fullerton City College because they're amazing.
There's a city college in Fullerton?
Apparently, I'm not the one who named it. but-
I only knew the Cal State.
and we're working on
That's Centauri
our
probably
newest little
disagree.
EP, which should at least include 2 songs. Hopefully it comes out by the end.
Well, that's
of
more of
February.
like a single if it only has 2 songs.
Well, yeah,
Kind of
but,
is, yeah.
We're trying
We're
to
trying to put
there,
3 or
But
more,
like the thing
but,
about it is that they're giving us free studio time.
Yeah,
for
shout out to
experience.
Mondo from Fullerton.
Yeah, for
Thank
real,
you.
like that is awesome, you know. And like you know,
That's
like,
our
it's
biggest
nice, you know, like
Oh.
no money out of our pocket other than gas and you know probably food, you know. It's awesome, and it's a splendid opportunity to be able to record with a bunch of really educated students. And hopefully that EP will be coming out by the end of February, probably early mid-March.
Yeah. Mid.
You know, and also we have a lot of shows coming up. If you want to stay up to date to whatever shows that we are playing, you could find them both on Facebook and on Instagram, or you can hit up any one of us.
And the Angry Samoan show, if you guys like Angry Samoan.
Dylan.
That's probably one of the
Dylan
biggest bands
Fast.
we're going to be playing with.
That's
I
our
mean, we
next
played
show.
with a
What
lot
the
of
hell?
big
What
bands.
about the Slackers
We played with
and
the
Mad
Slackers, we played with
Caddies?
the Toasters, the Mad Caddies, and
They probably don't know what.
but now DI as well. But now we're going to be playing with Angry Samoans. That's a big milestone for us. We've never done that. It's the later years, so it's like the older version of Angry Samoans. They can't legally call themselves the Angry Samoans, so they call themselves Angry Samoan. The later years. So that's what
Yeah, that's weird, right?
But yeah, Be Fatal Productions, that's one of our homies in town. He's actually one of the biggest bands,
Yeah.
and one of the biggest bands in Temin.
Elijah Craig, this is the guy who basically started bourbon. He's the first guy to ferment it back in 1700s.
Oh, wow.
He eventually moved down to, I believe, New Orleans, and that's kind of more on that connection. And so a lot of times New Orleans will claim they have the bourbon, even though they had the guy. I think he became he became a minister or a priest or something
thing.
like that. Yeah.
So it's this holy liquor.
The what?
It's this holy liquor.
Yeah. But this is like the godfather of Kentucky bourbon.
Wicked.
That's great.
And
That
are you
actually
guys
sounds
done?
awesome.
Yeah, no, empty on all ends, I
He's
believe.
probably
Yeah.
not. He's got some more left.
Shut the fuck up. No, I'm good.
Drink the fuck up.
I have a question for you, sir.
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
I have a question for you. Oh, that's getting a lot easier now that we're getting drunk.
I'd like to say this one more time. Thank you for dealing with our shit, yo. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like.
I really appreciate
We
that.
are a
Like,
bunch of
for real.
We're
idiots.
really
I
thankful for being
ramble.
up on this
He's
show,
an
too.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's an alcoholic. You know, like.
Hey, ex-alcoholic, I do not get drunk that way anymore sometimes. My birthday show, though, coming down that hill.
Just don't.
ooh,
Oh,
boy.
shit.
Hey, bro. Our original basis. Shout
Oh,
out.
should we talk about the tiki bar? Look.
Look.
I'm sorry, man.
Okay, so
So,
first,
All right.
knock this out.
Let's
yeah,
knock this out, guys.
definitely.
You'll be able to taste
Power
a
to
lot
the people.
of a difference from the Rebel Yell.
Oh, that
Yeah,
smells
definitely.
delicious.
I like that smell.
Biggs is already gagging.
Ah,
It's such
I
a
tried
funny
so hard.
story. I'm
not to. I
sorry.
fucked up.
If I shot that, I would have like probably.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I was careful about that, yo. Like,
But that is
That's
that,
pretty good.
that is strength in a whiskey. Like holy cow.
Yeah, that is a
Yeah, but
strong
it's still
one.
really
If you like, I mean,
Boy.
if you like whiskey, that is fucking wow. That is just
It's
that-
smoky.
that's a whiskey's
That is
whiskey.
definitely
that is
smoky.
man, that's crazy.
And that's
I like
That's
that shit.
amazing.
they do a more prominent char on the barrel.
I see
It
that.
reminds me of
I'm
mezcal.
yeah, I'm
With
like
the smoky
I'm like
tequila.
impressed by the whiskey. Like that is literally like that is whiskey.
I mean,
at its
they
finest.
leave it in. You can taste the barrel a bit more because they
Yeah.
leave it in the barrel a lot more than like a Rebel Yell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
And so it picks up more of the barrel flavors, and
Yeah.
you can taste a little bit of the vanilla, and that means it's been in at least a year because it starts like chemical reaction with the barrel.
Like taking a bite out of the barrel. That's great.
probably my favorite, like out of all of these right now. Like that just had the best taste. Period.
Over the Sunday
It had a
morning,
kick.
bro?
Yeah, you know, I'm a
Centauri's
I'm
the
a
best.
vanilla
I like the
fan, you know?
Centauri the best personally. That's
Yeah,
just me.
that
That's
shit's
just me.
bombs.
Like this,
But-
this
I like
that-
the Elijah Craig.
That's just
Elijah
impressive.
Craig and probably Monkey
It is
Shoulder.
also good.
That's
the monkey
impressive.
shoulder was pretty good.
Monkey shoulder was good too. I like the
That was delicious.
yeah.
I know you don't like Irish whiskey, but what do you think of the Jameson Caskmates?
I actually have a bottle of the stout that we've
Oh.
used.
Oh, nice.
I like that. It's more of like a kind of like a Friday night. You're having like watching TV type whiskey.
Okay.
I do like the creaminess you get out of it. It's different, but for me it's not like a. I don't know. There's things you can do with whiskeys that kind of hide the flavor of the whiskey, and that's what Jameson is doing
Oh,
a
Right.
little bit. I love single malt Scotch. If you're gonna fuck up in a whiskey, or like something's not perfect, I want to taste it.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, every bottle is like from year to year is different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Different variables that go
No,
into
it's totally
Yeah.
though way different.
It's like when you guys get rid of Eddie. I mean, yeah, someone else can play the trumpet, but they're not going to play it the
Eventually,
same
they're not
way.
gonna, yeah.
That's-
You know, they have
that's-
said that. They have legitimately said that.
No, we
in
have
quote.
not. Like
Well, not you, not
years
you.
ago, maybe. Like 4 years before Biggs, yeah, like we may have said that shit, but no.
Now Biggs can auto tune the trumpet on
Hold
guitar.
on, since we're all here, bro, all the important members. I'm not gonna say. Okay, no,
Ouch.
that was a mistake.
make sure you
I didn't mean all the important.
Shout out
Shut
to
up,
Joey.
Eddie. I don't know what you're saying.
There's my daughter has a keyboard that has a really good, clean sounding trumpet.
She's in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she can play the trumpet.
She's
Let's
in.
go.
Through her
She's in.
keyboard.
Is it sad that it's that
Hold on,
easy?
since we're all here, not
Peace out.
get okay. Now go.
No, go.
Now
No, but like Tony amazes me on on
When he's actually playing a guitar, when he has
When
one
he-
in his
when he-
hand.
when
he's-
I'm
I
actually
give him 20
stubborn enough
minutes.
to
I
play
guarantee you.
It depends on
you'll
whose
see.
amp and whose guitar, because
Yeah.
like if it's a shitty amp, shitty guitar, then you get shitty Tony.
Well, you can't. Yeah, you can't stop that. Yo. Like,
So do you only play acoustic guitar, or do you
I
play
play-
like electric on
I play
stage?
normally. We play electric on stage, obviously.
So what kind do you play?
This
Whatever
whatever
we-
he's
whatever
got,
we
whatever I can
have
get my
on
hands
hand.
on.
He doesn't own a guitar or an amp.
My
No,
guitar.
hold up.
My guitar. The
So we
only
have
reason-
to like.
Hold up. That is not true. This is not true.
So how did you get in the band?
Exactly.
No, hold on, let me
Was
tell
it
you
just
something.
like
was the band.
Hold on,
Hold up. I got you all. Yeah. Just everyone settle
I
down
see
for 2
faces getting
seconds.
angry out there. I see that shit. I just want to say, I could cut this ass with a knife right now. Keep going.
Let me just start.
We have a full audience.
In the beginning, Tony had not only 2 guitars, but he had 2 amps. But over time, through the I'd say 6 years, like they
Destructiveness.
destroyed. Both.
Yeah.
He sold his
the
guitar for like
guitars
2
that I
pounds
have-
of weed.
Yeah.
Like
2 pounds. Huh?
2 pounds.
Gone in a week.
Hey, but
That's a good deal. Like, what
2
the
pounds.
fuck?
I know because the guy was all messed up in the head, and I'm not gonna put his business out there.
You're
but-
putting him down for being messed up in the head?
Listen,
that's
but-
a 2,000
You're the one who
so-
sold your
so
guitar.
the guitar that I had.
When you're in a band.
I'll drink to that, bro.
The guitar that I had sold. It's not that I don't have equipment. It's that I don't have my own amp. The guitar that I
Take a
sold
sip.
was my
take a
bad luck
sip,
guitar.
that's it.
Every time I played with it, it was my
It's
favorite
your only
one.
guitar.
It was my favorite one, but it was my bad luck one. You know.
Slightly bigger than
So I
me.
gave it to him
I'll
when
let
I was
it happen.
homeless, and it
What?
well went over what I paid for that guitar. But when we started this band, I had a bass amp that I stole
Yep.
from the church down the street.
If you need to know whether he's a good person.
That's probably why you had a bad luck guitar. You stole a bass amp from the church.
Then this tweaker that was living with me at the time gave me a cab, just the bottom part with just the
a speaker.
And my house, like everybody always laughs at me, but my house was haunted. I saw the
Yeah,
amp
it
get
was.
picked
It
up
was.
and thrown on the floor. And
it had nothing to do with that 2
I
pounds of
haven't heard
weed.
this story.
So this bass amp that looked like Sully, bro, it was fuzzy and it was gray.
Fuzzy,
and it
yeah,
was-
like your vision's blurry.
Yeah, no, it
We
was
were heavily
different.
psychedelic.
I'm starting to see a
He
pattern here.
said a lot of crazy things, but he's right. Like the
Yeah.
amp that he had originally was like a little like it kind of looked like carpet. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
brand name was Bass.
straight
Like
up.
it was that
That's
bad.
how you know it's
it was
legit.
that bad. Okay? And then when it fell, the head broke off, the motherboard and everything, the inputs and everything. So I took that off. There was no top. You could see all the circuits and everything working in it. I taped it to the top of the amp and I plugged it into the half cab that tweaker gave me. Remember that guy Jeremy?
Yes.
And
Shout out to Jeremy.
Shout out to Jeremy.
No shout outs to that fucking dick.
Hey,
Legalized meth.
He was a tweaker, but he was cool.
He was cool,
He
but
was
that
a
guy
cool
totally he ruined my entire life.
I know he did.
So
Yeah,
I was playing my guitar off of a bass amp head plugged into a guitar amp cab.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
And then the head, everything's exposed.
That should have caught on fire.
Everything is. It did.
It eventually did. Yeah, it did. It
One
caught on
of
fire.
one of my strings that came out, you know how I don't cut the strings?
Yeah.
It touched one of the circuits and just caught on fire. It exploded, dude. It exploded.
It was crazy.
So
you know?
much growth from when we started.
Since
Now
then-
we're smart enough to not
Now
let him use
you
any
must
of his own
understand
equipment.
why we don't let Tony operate his own equipment.
Because my shit's all rigged up, bro. My shit's like
My job used to be make sure we have all the equipment we need for every show. I gave up on that like a year ago.
Do you guys have like an electrical engineer?
Well,
That's
he used
me.
to be the. He's still technically the equipment man.
I
but
have the most
here's the
equipment.
truth.
I
He
just
has a
He has
truck.
to handle
That's
himself.
it.
He has a
That's
truck
right there. He
He has a
Because-
truck and a
That's
bed. That's what he has.
because of the things that I've put us through, I have the easiest fucking job in this band.
It just shows up
I
in
get
place.
to the show and this guy's like, your guitar's tuned, your pedal board's set up, your shit's all
Yeah,
lined
I
up
have to
the-
plug it.
That
all
was
in.
years of progression to be able to get to that point where we figured it out. Now we're finally just like, all right, we have to have everything ready regardless of what we hear from him. There's no, it's basically we have a show tonight, the time, and Tony's like, I'm there. And then we take care of everything else.
So if I was interviewing just Tony, he'd probably be telling me he has his own guitar tech and.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no,
He would probably be telling you that he
I would
runs the
tell
band
you,
himself.
I think that would be giving him a little too much credit for giving us credit, though. I'm not sure if he would give us so much credit.
I would be giving, no, I mean, like everybody in this
That's
band
well
does
said.
hard work. I just show up and play. I show up
And you
I
don't see a
play.
problem with that.
Oh, of course there's
Well,
a
here's
problem.
the thing. He's also the showman.
He has a bigger job than what he does on stage.
Yeah.
He literally brings people, he brings the vibration. He also plays
He
guitar
dances
like
for all
Bradley
the
from
other
Sublime,
bands.
and like it's very difficult to capture
Like-
what he's able to do on a guitar. Tony's a very important member of this band, regardless of like what he's even able to bring to it. Because no matter what, his presence alone is just very powerful. And
He
You better hope
embodies-
Eddie doesn't learn to play guitar.
Like-
he's
I do.
starting to. It's already
You're in
getting to that.
trouble.
He's overlapping a little bit.
Like
We'll
here-
see
here's
later.
Yeah, one day
here's
he's
the-
gonna have a guitar solo. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And he's gonna put down his trumpet.
That's
You
album
know,
3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a guitar.
Like trust
of
me,
the 0 we've released.
this band has a lot more stories to come. Just stick around. Seriously, stick around.